I'm naming you as my custodian in the adoption. Like, if anything happens to me, you're the one who's going to take care of Makayla.
Burgess and Ruzek. This is a game changer for them because they were going to have a baby and now he could be a potential guardian in an unfortunate event. So what does this mean for them? How does this change the dynamic, especially given like the sort of icy dynamic that was going on before this with the fight?
I honestly don't think it changes their relationship, like where they are. I just probably think that Adam is no longer sort of super furious at her. I think that they still have a ways to go before they're a couple again. And I don't know what that looks like. I feel like there's so much misunderstanding between them right now. I don't know how we get back to a relationship. But no matter what, we're family.
We can be this whole big round thing that can surround and protect her.
And that's what the speech is, right? Like, I know we're in a terrible space. I know we don't get along right now, but we're family, stupid. So you're the guardian. He's like, yeah, okay.
So they got each other no matter what.
No matter who's mad at who in our relationship, there's this epic foundation that you can't crack or shake. We're Endgame, so yeah.
That's right. Burzek for Endgame. That's what we're all hoping for.
Although now, like, Upstead are now like saying I love you. So I'm like, wait. We're Endgame. Y'all slow down. Upton, go back to being cold.
Right? We need to catch them up.
Makayla knows if something happens to you, what happens to her?
This episode also raises a good question about Burgess and the job, because now she has to think about Makayla and really making sure she gets home to her daughter. And we saw a little bit of that this episode when she hesitated with the shooter at the end.
Kim, you all right?
Moving forward, do you think this is something that she's going to continue to grapple with, both the dangers of the job and being a mother?
Balancing the aspect of being a working mom will always be present because she is. But from what I understand of the cops that I spoke to, and what I understand from Burgess's speech is like, in order to be a cop, you sort of have to, or a mom cop at least, leave that behind when you walk into the fire, so to speak. Naming the guardian was sort of a way to put that fear to bed and just sort of like go forth with like, I'm a cop. And then when I'm home, I'm a mom. But right now I'm a cop. I think not naming the guardian and having someone to fall back on was what was making her hesitate in the line of fire.
I'm also shocked that she didn't name Halstead the guardian. I'm just kidding.
I was like, what? Halstead and I don't even speak on the show.
I'm wondering about that. Are you guys finally going to like talk to each other?
But it's like people you work with, right? You don't get along with everyone. I think that we have a good working relationship, but I also think that Jay and Kim are not a compatible duo. Although I do think when you split the line of like who's sort of team reform, it's more Jay, Kevin, and Kim. And then Upton and Ruzek are a little more able to go rogue. So I do think they have that in common.
Knowing now that she's going to be a mom, like permanently, she's adopting Makayla. How does that factor into the Atwater Burgess relationship? Is she going to lean on him even more?
I hope so, for various reasons. One, he raised his two siblings. Two, he's Black and I have now a Black child. I think those are two really important things that I'm sort of a fish out of water, and I need somebody to sort of help guide me.
Is it weird though that like in the public conversation right now, there's all of this talk of reform, and then you're on a cop show, which is being scrutinized about the way that police are presented. So that, does that ever like get in your head?
Yeah, I mean, it does, right? It is a show. It's a television show. So I do lean on that it is art, but I do think that we have a responsibility, especially in Chicago, where there's like a lot of issues that need to be resolved within the police department. And I think that not mentioning it or dealing with it would be irresponsible. And I do think that Rick, the showrunner, has brought it to the forefront, especially with episodes featuring LaRoyce and Patty's character, which is sort of like a little bit of old school, new school. So it's important that we do address it. Not perfect, but we are addressing it. And I think that it would be terrible to ignore it.
Exactly. I think LaRoyce touched on this too, about like changing the minds of middle America by doing this small part in being in the show, tackling these issues. So it's very appreciative that the show is actually trying to go there and raise those questions. Maybe not giving any answers, but raising, giving people something to think about.
Voight is an old school cop. He started this show really differently. So to just have him change immediately would not be true. It's like a struggle. So I think it's important also to see that struggle to show how far we need to go.